to see 200,000 highly skilled workforce. That is what actually SLASSCOM is aiming for. But if you read about some of the vision from the government, they want to have 300,000, but whatever it is that we wanted to, in order to have this industry, the level that we wanted to see. So we want to have highly skilled workforce as well. So our target is to have actually 200,000 highly skilled workforce. And in order to do that, we wanted to see, we can't actually wait for foreign direct investment and, someone from another country coming here and invest, but we want to have our own people to start their startups as well. So we want to have 1,000 startups by 2025. So those are the vision that we have, and we wanted to reach. And all these things what you see in this screen are well connected to the vision that we are having, and why we are interested in this kind of program, why we get involved, is also to make sure that we involve at the right time, not when the students are finishing the degree, but before they start, for you to get the proper understanding about the industry and what you should do and what are we expecting you to do to get into the industry. So if I talk about the industry a little bit, and what you can see here is that the one of the big players in the industry, like as Dr. Madhur said, that IFS is like the largest, that we have Virtusa is the largest company, then we have London Stock Exchange, Creative, Pearson, Cambio, Codegen, Cisco Lab, WSO2. Those are, what you see here is actually one of the big players that we have in the industry when it comes to number of employees. But at the same time, there are so many startups and smaller companies coming up, because this is one of the industries that you can start a business easily. You don't need to have a bigger capital, but all you need is actually good computers and really good brains, right? So right now we have actually more than 600 companies in the industry, those who are doing the software development. Now, if I give you a little bit of the details about the IT workforce, if you look at the way that how we increased the workforce during last number of years, from 2003 to 2019, most of those statistics actually I took from the survey that we did in 2019. So after that, we haven't done any surveys, but actual numbers should be more than that. But by 2019, it is actually around 150,000 IT the employees are working in this industry. And then based on the statistics and based on the survey that we did in 2019, this is actually the demand versus supply. When I say demand, that is demand for the IT jobs and for the IT the graduates in the industry in 2019. Again, I want to emphasize, because the numbers should be bigger and the problem should be also bigger. The problem means that the capacity gap that we have should be bigger than what we had in 2019. But these are the numbers that I have based on the survey that we did. So at the left, what you can see is a number of IT graduates coming out from the universities, and sorry, on the left it is a demand, sorry. So the demand for the IT graduates, and obviously you can see that IT companies, those who are doing IT software development, they have the biggest demand for IT graduates, so closer to 15,000. But at the same time, not only IT companies are looking for IT graduates. Actually, non-ICT companies also need IT people, IT literacy, because if you take banks, they have to run their systems and so on. So in-house IT department they need to have, because of the non-ICT companies are also looking for IT graduates. And then obviously the government and also BPO means business process outsourcing companies. So all together you can see in 2019 the demand was 21,000 Now you see the problem. The supply altogether was 9,000, right? So how that 9,000 comes is that if you take IT major, blue is basically blue represent the state universities and red represents the private universities. If you take IT major, those who did IT major as their degree, so 1,750 students came out from the state universities and 4,000 from private universities. Then there are students who did the degrees with non-IT major. So all together, you can see the supply was 9,000. Then the gap between the demand versus supply in 2019 was 12,000. So this is actually the problem we have seen in 2019. And since then, we have been actually working hard to get those, the numbers from the universities and basically building the capacity. But when it comes to jobs, before I go to the jobs, I want to make sure that, of course, we have 12,000. The gap of the current gap can be bigger than that. It doesn't mean that anyone who is coming out from universities, it doesn't mean that anyone who is, completed a degree can come to the industry, because the quality of the people is also extremely important, because we develop world-class products. And of course, developing software in this part of the world, it can be cost effective compared to doing it in any other part of the world, especially from Europe or North America. But at the same time, no one wants to compromise the quality. So because of that, it doesn't matter whether it is 10,000 or 20,000 people, we have the capacity gap. No company will lower the bar to get people in. They will anyway look for the right people. So don't take it easy. Like, of course, there's a 12,000, the gap in the industry. If I just complete a degree, I can get a job. That is not the case, right? So you need to be one of the best super talents to get into the industry. That is why from the day one, we expect you to do your studies and all your practicals and learning well to get into the industry. Then I will talk about the jobs, what sort of jobs that we have in the industry. I mean, this is not the complete list of jobs. There are so many other jobs as well, but these are the most demanding, and these are the jobs that we have most number of position within the industry. Software engineers and quality assurance engineers, and systems and network engineers, business system analysts, UI and user experience engineers, and DevOps engineers. And basically, these are the most popular and also most demanding degrees, and also those are the positions, and those are the positions that we have most of the vacancies. That is what I want to, why I listed them only. Then I'm pretty sure that I don't have to explain about the software engineer. Who is a software engineer? I think you all know, right? So software engineer is a person who basically learn software development principles and software engineering, and use that to design, develop, maintain, test, and also, evolve computer software. So that is what they are doing. I think everyone knows it. And quality assurance engineer, I guess that's also something, a job that known to anyone. So basically, it doesn't matter, whatever the software we develop, the maintaining high quality is super important. So basically, quality assurance engineers are the ones who make sure that whatever we develop is actually meeting customer expectation with the functionality, at the same time quality. So they can be manual testers. At the same time, there are so many the QA the jobs that they write scripts to automate as well, because now test automation is also something really important, because now in the software industry, earlier you test, earlier you find bugs, and earlier you fix bugs. That is good for the company and also the customers, right? So this is the job that basically those engineers are super focusing focused on the testing the software and finding bugs and fixing it. It could be manual testing, it could be automated testing. Then this is another job called business system analyst. I normally say that those are the people who can speak customers language and engineers language, you know, bilingual people. So they basically can understand what customer wants. They know the domain of the customer, and how we can solve their problem. At the same time, they can understand what the software engineers are talking about. So basically they are good at explaining the requirement to the technical teams. At the same time, they are so good at understand the customer requirements. They basically call business system analyst. And then there's another interesting the job that is called UI and UX engineers. Ideally, these are two different jobs. User interface engineers are the ones who basically do the graphic designing, UI, visual designing. They pick the right color, right graphics, and right layout, and right fonts. And so those are the ones we basically call user interface engineers. And if you take your phone, for an example, the font and colors and icons, those are the ones that actually developed by the user interface engineers. But user experience engineer is a different job. And user experience engineering or user experience engineering is not actually limited to software development. It is actually for any kind of product development. So whenever I talk about the user experience engineering, I take examples as modern cars, right? If you take modern cars nowadays, you know that no one has the traditional key, right? You just need to have a key in your pocket. When you walk to the car and when you touch the door, it unlocks, right? So that is basically to give the proper experience to the user who use the product, right? So even if you get into the car, if it is dark, you get the lights on automatically, and if you put the car into the reverse gear, if it is raining, you get the rear wipers activated. So the whole experience that you get while you're using a product, that is what actually the user experience engineers are focusing on. It doesn't matter whether it is a software, whether it could be a phone, it could be a car, it could be even a mug that you use to drink coffee. So user experience engineers are basically they are spending time with interaction design, and they do wireframing prototypes, and they back and forth discuss with the customers. They do actually user research. They learn about the user, and they learn about they do research to learn about the how user thinks and what user is expecting. So these are very trending jobs in the industry. And then system engineers, and most of the time system engineers and networking engineers go hands in hand. And network engineers are basically they implement and oversee computer networks, but system engineers can be in a big spectrum, like sometimes even for the database administrators we call system engineers. At the same time, those who are working with the basically managing complex systems, we call them system engineers. And then this is also very trending job in the industry. They call DevOps engineers. The Dev and Ops is actually, Dev is the life cycle that you go through when you develop a software. Ops is actually when you release it, and when the customer is using it, that is the ops part. So DevOps engineers are the ones who basically spend a lot of time and the implement process to make sure that the entire development process, developing, testing, and releasing, that make sure that the total process is smooth. And for an example, when the developer write the code and commit the code, and it basically automatically goes to the build environment, that we build the software and we install it in different environments, and automated testing is going on, and also they monitor the systems, and all these parts are basically covered by those DevOps engineers, right? And also CI/CD is also another thing connected to this DevOps engineering, because you know, if you take 10 years ago, I think those who were using all Windows, you know that, you know, that's, for an example, when Microsoft release operating system, they release versions probably every other year, right? So when you have one version, you get the other version two years later. But nowadays, if you use mobile phones, you know that every week you get an update, right? So that is the transformation the entire software industry came during last couple of years. Now we need to have continuous integration and continuous delivery, meaning that the developers, they develop things and they commit it and it integrate with the system, and we need to deliver it. So that is what it's called, CI/CD. And as I said, the DevOps engineers are making sure that we haven't, you know, the software releasing processes that our developers can commit, integrate their code, and we can release it frequently. So this is actually the what these engineers are focusing on, and this is a very demanding, at the same time very challenging job as well. So those are the jobs primarily available in the industry. And if sometimes, you know, students are, they used to ask, okay, so which job I should pick? And normally what we say is that find out what you like doing best, right? So because if you do something you like, and then you will be enjoying it, it can be your hobby, probably let someone else to pay for it, right? So then you don't have to worry about, you know, sometimes people say it's Monday, I have to go to office, I don't like it, or yeah, it's Friday, it's I'm off. You know, that feeling basically comes when you do something you don't like. So whether it's software engineering, business system analyst, QA, user experience, or user interface designing, it doesn't matter what it is, but make sure that you pick what you like to do, and then you will enjoy. Because I mean, doing something for a hobby and letting someone else to pay is the best thing can happen in your life. So make sure that you pick something you like. Then talking about the employability and skills that we are looking for. So sometimes students, they ask about, okay, what are the technology stacks that I need to cover to get into the industry, and what are the most frequently used or most demanding technology stack? If you ask that question, I mean, this is what I can tell you. Like, I mean, there are plenty of tech stacks that you can pick, and industry is using, and industry is looking for. Even if you go and look for vacancies in different organizations, I mean, they're looking for Python people, they're looking for .NET people, they're looking for React.js people, Android people. I mean, they're looking for many different tech stacks. But my advice is, I mean, this is impossible. I mean, you can't really cover everything. But as undergraduates, what you need to focus is few things. So those are the things that I want to emphasize when it comes to technical skills for you to get into the industry. So before I go further, I want to emphasize what I mean by get into the industry. Now, we from the industry, we have realized recently, probably you don't have to finish 4-year degree to come into the industry, but of course you need to have a degree to succeed and move up in the ladder in the industry. But you can, of course, you know, join the industry earlier as interns and can contribute to the industry, and also can get hands-on experience while continuing your degree as well. So you can actually come to the industry in many levels. Actually, you can join the industry as interns while you are studying, and also you can join the industry as you know, the full-time software engineer, so business system analyst after you finish the degree. But what I want to emphasize is you can still join the industry before you finish the degree. and you can work in the industry while you're studying. So this is a sort of a industry that you will even get benefit if you work while studying. So get into the industry. What you need to focus now from today onwards is the number one thing is you need to learn fundamentals. Of course, you can, do a couple of courses and learn few technical stuff and write some code, but it's very important that you learn fundamentals. So when it comes to those fundamentals, I can guarantee you that, because we have been working with our USL, and also Brani will talk about the Future Careers Bridge. All these, the curriculum that we have in this degree program, do your best, and then you will get the fundamentals that you need to have at the beginning. On top of that, actually, you can build the other skills. So make sure that you learn fundamentals. The reason is, without the fundamentals, actually you can't succeed in this industry. And then while learning fundamentals, I really recommend you to do a small project, and do a small project, because I mean, it's not only the fundamentals that we need to have. We need you to have skills as well. So how you can get those skills, that is actually, you need to use what you learn in the practical world. So you need to do a small project. And also, when you go to interviews, normally what happen is that the interview panel, they will ask about what you know and what you have done. So if you have done a small project based on what you learned, then you can actually talk about it. More you talk about it, and they get to know that you have actually done something. As I said, you can't do projects to cover all tech stacks, but take nice tech stack and demanding tech stack and do a small project, so that you can actually talk about it. Normally what happens in interviews is, if you say that I don't know, we don't talk about it. But if you say that you know it, then they really start to talk about it. So make sure that you bring something to the interview that you can actually talk about it. That's the third thing. Know what you are talking about, because otherwise, you can't just mention in the CV that I know this and that and that. But if you mention about the things that you really don't know, then you will be in trouble. So make sure that you know things and you mention it, and then you are going to talk about it. Fourth one is stay tuned, because I can guarantee you, none of the syllabus in any country, in any university, can take can evolve with the same pace as the how the technology is evolving. So it's your responsibility to read about the technology trends and follow right people in it could be LinkedIn, it could be Twitter, and read about the tech blogs and tech articles. So make sure that you stay relevant and also stay tuned with what is happening in the industry. So these are the 4 technical areas that I want you to focus on. And as I said, I mean, if you can, we from the industry, we basically have our own expectation. We regulate our expectation. We are not expecting too much from you, but we expect something from you, right? So that is why you don't have to be afraid, but do your job during your first year to learn those things. But we also actually regulate our expectation. We are not expecting everything what we expect from a 2-3 years experience person, or someone who completed a 4-year degree when we interview you for internships. No. And then technical skills are not enough, because sometimes back we thought actually software engineering or computer engineers are those who are hiding behind a screen and just writing the code. That is not the case. Now actually almost all the jobs that I mentioned, that needs all these non-technical skills as well. Number one is communication. When I say communication, you don't have to, speak as native English speaker. That's not what we are talking about here. So basically, communication means you should be able to communicate, and you should be able to say what you want to say, and it's not doesn't necessarily the you know the perfect English and perfect grammar, but you should be able to speak in English, because if you take the day-to-day software development, you will be part of a team which is working with customers from other parts of the world, or in some cases, or in most of the cases, that part of your team can be from another country. So you will be communicating with people every day, regularly. So communication is super important. Number two is a teamwork, because I know that, you know, during the entire education system, if you can play solo, right? You can study alone, and you go and write for the exams, and you get grades, and you can, you know, get through all these exams and succeed. But when you join the industry, that's completely different, right? So we need people who can do teamwork. You can work together and win as a team, because if you take any individual, it doesn't matter how smart that person, team is always stronger than that individual. So there are so many instances in my career. I have actually failed even first class degree holders from very reputed universities, because of they are not team players. We normally don't want those who can't play well in a team. So this is also something that you need to learn and practice. That one is critical thinking. So I mean, welcome to the world of industry, that you get the different challenges every day, new challenges every day, new problems every day. So you I sometimes see that we are like doctors, like, you know, when patient come and talk to the doctor, they are not talking about the problem, they're talking about the symptoms, right? So you will also be in an industry that customers are talking about symptoms, that you need to have critical thinking to find the problem to fix. Then the other thing is self-management. I mean, no one will push you, follow up you to get things done. You need to have really good self-discipline. Can be time management, to having right habits, to self-learning. All these things you need to have to succeed in this in this industry. So those are the non-technical skills that we are looking for. And then I will hand over the session to Barney. But before I give it to Barney to talk about the Future Careers Bridge and how you can you know, brush up yourself, and how we can help you to uplift your technical skills. This is also something that I always tell, especially when I talk to the fresh the undergraduates, those who are going to start the degree program. You will have number of months or number of years to prepare. So take this time seriously and use it wisely, because sometimes people call and ask, you know, week before the interview, okay, how can I prepare for the interview? So basically my answer is, if the interview will be in a week and you can't really prepare, the only thing what you can do is that, you know, take a haircut and find a nice suit and go, because you can't prepare for an interview in a week or month. It's a long process. So you need to start from today to prepare for the interviews that you will be going maybe in 1 year, maybe 2 years, 3 years, because you need to do it from today. So with that, I will give the control to Barney to talk about the Future Careers Bridge.
Thank you, Mangala. Wow, there are 1,000 people listening.
Yes.
Wow. No pressure. Were there any questions? I thought I saw some hands raised. Do we want to answer those questions, or do I dive into mine?
I think it's better, Barney, we finish the Future Careers Bridge thing. Otherwise, we might not be able to finish your one. Yeah, then we can take all these questions later on, right?
Okay. Let me try to share my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, Bani.
Perfect. Okay, good evening, everyone. Excited to be here. Okay, so what I'm going to be talking about, for those who came in late, my name is Bani Chandrasena. I am also part of SLASSCOM, and I also work for the London Stock Exchange Group in the Human Resources Department. What I will be talking about today is about this platform called Future Careers Bridge, which has been connected to your degree program. What I will be talking about in the next 20 to 25 minutes is to try and help you understand why it has been connected and how it's going to help you in your IT career journey. And we see Bridge as your opportunity or the student's opportunity to start on this IT career that you have embarked on by signing up for the BSc program with OUSL. And the beauty of a program like the OUSL program is you can study and work at the same time. And that is something that we are looking for more and more in the industry, because we realize the quality of the student who starts engaging on projects and is in the company is a lot stronger, is a lot more productive, a lot more focused towards outcome when you are actually learning to do two things like this at the same time, studying and working. Because you're studying, you get to put what you're studying into practice in the workplace, etc. So in this program of OUSL, those are some of the things that you will learn. It is not easy. Might not be something you're familiar with, but platforms like Future Careers Bridge is there to help you do that. So let's dive into it. Let me try and explain how we think Future Careers Bridge helps in your journey. So what we realize is there are a lot more people who go to school who do their A-levels versus the number of people who go into university programs in Sri Lanka right now. We have also realized there are a lot more students who are capable, who are driven, who are excited about this ICT industry, who have not maybe got an opportunity with the degree programs available that you join full-time after school. So we created this platform called Bridge, where you get an opportunity to register for free and start doing these challenges. Challenges are specific exercises or modules that you do. A series of modules is a track that we encourage you to do. Why are we encouraging you to do it? Why is OUSL encouraging you to do it? Because one of the reasons that you are studying is because you want to eventually get a job. To get a job, you need to take the first step of being able to get an internship. And as if you were listening to Mangala, you would realize that there is a huge demand for jobs or for talent in the industry. We're looking for good people. Just because we have demand doesn't mean we take anybody and everybody. We are looking for the numbers, as Mangala clearly showed you. There's a massive gap, but we are also looking for the quality that can fit and evolve this industry. If you were paying attention, you would have noticed that the aspirations this industry has to grow in Sri Lanka is massive. Grow means companies that already exist are growing larger. We're looking for startups. We're trying to encourage more startups. There are smaller companies, startups that are going into mid-sized companies, because the demand on IT solutions from the world coming to Sri Lanka is also growing. So the opportunity is there. The question is, are you ready for it? Are you interested in it? And what are you going to achieve it? So Future Careers Bridge is one pathway or a bridge for you to be able to join this industry. Once you do the challenges, there are different stages through the challenges where you will get opportunities to apply for internship programs, because that is part of our job, Mangala's and my job, because we are going to, we're talking to all the companies in SLASSCOM or members of SLASSCOM, like he mentioned, 600 plus companies, and encouraging them and showcasing Bridge and showing all of your talent that is showcased on the Bridge platform. Now, if there are 20,000 students in the platform, obviously companies are not going to look at 20,000. They are going to want to look at a subset. So we have created something called leaderboards, which I will talk to about in a little while. And your job should be to try and get onto those so that you can be the first few people that the industry will want to meet with an interview. The opportunity Bridge provides you is when you get on the leaderboard and you are invited for these interviews, when you get an internship, you can carry on with your OUSL degree program because it's done in a flexible manner. So you can study and work at the same time, moving yourself closer to a permanent job in the ICT industry. So this is the model that Bridge is offering to you, and OUSL and Bridge, or OUSL and SLASSCOM, have partnered to make this available to all of you who have signed up for this OUSL BSc program. So let me talk a little bit more about Bridge. So if you have already registered, great. If you haven't, please register. Please make sure when you register, there are a lot of questions that we ask you before you get into doing your challenges. Please answer them correctly, specifically, because if you're part of this OUSL program and you want the credit and you want the access that I just described, you will need to make sure that you sign up saying that you are an OUSL student. This information, as much as I'm telling you, would also be shared by the OUSL management when you register and as you go through the induction and orientation of OUSL. Please make sure you understand that if you want to get the credits of Bridge against your name. What we are asking you to do as soon as you register in the pre-orientation is what we call the fundamentals track. The fundamentals track has 14 basic challenges. What these basic challenges cover are introduction to tech. There are some tech aspects, more towards some of the things that Mangala spoke about, the different kinds of languages. It doesn't cover that full range, but it does cover some of the most used and the most popular in the industry. These challenges will also have communication or English language challenges. And Mangala very rightly said, why we give you English language, which we link to communication, is because we need you to get confident in being able to communicate. There is a difference between English language or Sinhala language and communication. What we are realizing, and this is why we put this into Bridge, is that we find people are not confident enough to communicate. It doesn't matter how strong you are in English, but you have to be solid in knowing what you want to communicate, who your audience is. Should you be giving them a detailed explanation, or do you need to give them an elevator summary pitch? When should you dive into deeper conversations or detail? When should you be talking summary? Should you be writing about it? Should you be talking about it? Should you be presenting? These are all related to communication, and we add modules in Bridge to help you understand the difference, because all of these things that I just mentioned matters when you get your job or you get your internship. It's not just the fact that you know your tech or you passed your exam that matters. It is how you communicate with people, how you work on a project with people. All of those things matter. Working together, not by yourself. problem solving, because there we come across, why do companies hire tech companies? To be able to solve problems and give them solutions. Solutions are not stuff that we already know. Sometimes these are new problems that we have to solve. It's not me who solves the problem, it's all of you when you join these industries. So how you deal with problems, how you collaborate with the team that you have been put together with to solve the problem, how you present these to the customer, how you take feedback from the customer, how you project manage, meet deadlines, deal with failure. In the tech industry, there is a lot of things that don't always work as well because we are trying new things, the creative side, the innovative side. All of these come together in Bridge. We show you what project management is. We show you how to work with other people, why working in a team matters, how you problem solve, what is growth mindset. These are all aspects of what we believe will make you successful in life, in the industry. And what we have done through Bridge is to try and give you a taste and an understanding of all of these aspects. So when you go into Bridge, you will notice that there are 3 tags against each challenge. It could be a life skill, it could be a language skill, or it could be a tech skill. As you go through Bridge, you will see that we will continue to evolve to make sure that you have access to all 3 of these, because we think all 3 aspects are important in order for you to succeed in the industry. So why am I explaining all of this? Just to give you an understanding that you need to get onto the leaderboard, the fundamentals leaderboard. Why do you need to get onto the fundamentals leaderboard? Because when you get onto the leaderboard, you will be the first few people who will get invited for interviews for internships. How do you get onto the leaderboard is the next question. How you get onto the leaderboard is to actually click on each one of these challenges where it says take it. And once you click onto a challenge, there are 3 aspects that you have to do within each challenge. You will see a topic or an assignment that is given to you regarding a specific topic. There will be links for you to go learn the topic. And there will be a way for you to do the assignment or the mini project that is related to that topic. That's step 2. And step 3 would be, there'll be a list of questions, MCQ questions that you have to answer. You need to do all 3 steps because these 3 steps help us, as in the Bridge platform, understand your potential. That information gets captured and is used to put you up on the leaderboard. If you do all the challenges and you get good scores on them, you get to the top of the leaderboard. You can do it more than once. If you feel like you didn't do it the best way possible and maybe a week later you realize you can do something better, you're allowed to do that as well. Because we believe it's not about just doing it once, it's about trying to do it as best as you can. So we give you opportunities to do it more than once. So doing these challenges, covering the 3 steps, getting on the leaderboard should be one of your aspirations over the next 4 weeks. Along the way, there'll be other things that OUSL will talk to you about, that the Bridge team or the OUSL SLASSCOM team will talk to you about. And your job is to pay attention. If you are not clear, ask questions. But this is one new additional method that OUSL has added on to their BSc program. I talked about the fundamentals. There is something called the advanced challenges that you get to post the fundamentals. This is just a snapshot of it. You don't need to worry about it too much at this particular point unless you have already finished the fundamentals. And this will take you deeper into understanding the tech side of the industry. There again, you will in the future see more life skills and language related challenges, because like I mentioned, we continuously want you to evolve being able to balance all three aspects of knowledge and skill. I'm not going to talk too much about this because we will get a chance to talk about this in the future, but this is just to give you a little bit of insight into what you will see when you register for Bridge. I talked about the fundamentals, and post that there are going to be other tracks that you will learn and you will have access to. This piece is an evolving piece, and the reason we have put this in is as you are focusing on your IT degree, we want you to get a little bit more access and opportunity to understand the different aspects of the industry and the different roles that you will come across. If you remember, Mangala mentioned a series of different roles, not limited to, but a lot of roles that we have in the industry. Most of these are linked to what he spoke about. So these are what we call tracks, and these tracks would give you more challenges specifically in these aspects of the role in the industry. For example, software development will talk to you about coding, we'll talk to you about different languages that you can code in, so on and so forth. BPM is more about the IT and BPM industry, and it is more about how jobs in that industry and the skills that are needed to be able to get jobs in that industry. It does have an element of tech, but it has a lot more elements on servicing customers, dealing with customer interactions, automation that is coming in the future, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to talk about business analysts and quality assurance because I think Mangala spoke about that a little bit more detail. Visual design is another thing that you're going to see soon. Cybersecurity is something that's up and coming, so you're going to see something soon on that. Systems and networks, database analysts. So like this is what we foresee at the moment that we're going to build in 2021, but this is going to continue to grow. So Bridge in a nutshell is going to be a place where you can stay in touch with what is happening in this industry and continue to learn. I don't know whether you paid enough attention, but I paid attention to Mangala's presentation. One of the points he mentioned is to stay tuned. In other words, you have to stay on top of what is happening in this industry because it's moving faster than definitely academics can follow. It's moving faster than even the industry can keep up. In other words, what I might hire you for in the company is not what I expect you to know 1 year once you have joined in the company. We expect you to be learning new things. Companies will give you access to learning this, but you still have to be able to learn and want to learn by yourself. There's only so much a company can do. It's your desire to want to stay relevant. It's your desire to stay curious and want to better yourself that will give you the success in this industry and, in my opinion, life as well. So I spoke to you about how you're going to get to that internship, how you're going to get to that interview to impress the company and be able to get into the internship. Here I'm going to talk a little bit about how my advice to how you're going to succeed in that internship, so that you can aim for that more permanent or more long-term, better paying job. Your personal confidence and how you continue to develop your self-confidence is really, really important. Because of that, in Bridge, we have lots of video learnings to help you do that. What I mean by that is you will learn through watching videos, but we will also ask you to make videos. Those are all aspects of how we think we can help you develop that confidence. You will get to read about things, watch things, then write articles about them, write essays, do videos, your opinions about those learnings. All of those are important aspects of how we will assess whether you are confident, whether you have an opinion, because all of that matters in us deciding this is the talent we want in our company. Your learning experience is something that we will continue to try to improve because it's forever evolving. And if you are paying attention to social media and how this industry is evolving, it changes regularly, and it's improving. Sometimes maybe improves too much, but it is constantly evolving. And we would like you, one, to be evolving with it, and also to be active in that social media world. And when I say active in the social media world, I don't mean Facebook. That is your personal life. What we are interested in is how you are using your learnings and sharing that and staying current in this world of IT. So one of the things that you will be encouraged to do in Bridge is to create a blog and be active on that blog, because those are ways that we will, when I say we, us in the companies, when we're looking for interns, when we're looking for talent, those are things we will go and look via Bridge to try and understand your interest, how you're evolving and how you're learning in the industry. One other point, especially because of the OUSL program that you're in, is there's going to be an OUSL learning scorecard, which is something your tutors, once you go past orientation, you will be identified a tutor, and the tutor will be connected to helping you learn more about the scorecard and how you actually get winning scores on this scorecard. So pay attention and stay focused on it. Another aspect that we believe is critical in this industry to succeed is how well you can work with other people, how collaborative you are, how well you work in a team. Nothing in this industry happens individually. So that means you need to be able to plan with a team. You have to be able to give suggestions when you're working in that team, take feedback if some of the suggestions or some of the things that you're doing is not actually helping the team, or whatever they tried didn't work. So you're going to get feedback saying that's not good enough, you need to do something better. You have to be able to not only listen, be able to take that feedback and adjust yourself. In the whole Bridge program, we try to give you those opportunities, and your tutors in the OUSL program will also create those opportunities for you. All the learning that you're going to do in your BSc program is also going to model that whole behavior, where you will have to learn on your own. But if you don't know or you have questions, you get opportunities to come and talk about it with your peers, with your tutors, and be able to learn more, get the job done, share your learnings, and move forward. So everything that I'm describing is things that have been put into Bridge, that have been put into your BSc learning program, because all of these things matter when you are in the real world in the IT industry. So we hope it will help you, but in order for it to help you, you have to take it seriously. You have to realize why we are giving all these different angles, and to try and make sure that you follow all these different aspects. I'm emphasizing this because most of us came from the O-level, A-level kind of program where it's all about passing an exam. That's all that matters. It does not matter how hard you studied, with how many people you studied. Did you study alone? Did you help somebody? As long as you get your scores on your A-level and O-level results, it's a pass or a fail. In the OUSL program, in the real world, in the IT industry, it doesn't work like that. So we are trying to give you opportunities to realize the world is changing and to help you change with it. Okay. Here we are talking a little bit about capturing your technological experience or journey while you are learning. So on Bridge, as different challengers, you will get an opportunity to create a HackerRank account, contribute to Stack Overflow, and there'll be many advanced challenges that you will come across where there'll be more and more things related to your tech experience. And not only does it matter that you learn it, you might get it in the first go and you might be a really superstar at it. But if you're not, you get help and you learn it, that's also fine. But making your mark in all these different challenges and these different accounts and aspects that we want you to create through Bridge is really important. I think I keep getting stuck with this. Sorry. Sorry, give me a second. It got stuck. Let me try to share the screen again. I think I'm almost at the end of my presentation. Okay. Here, I'm going to take 5 minutes just to let you know that everything that we are asking you to do, these students at a minimum have done and have got to that end goal of actually getting internships. They all joined Bridge. They did the fundamentals like you all did. They came for all the sessions that we set up for them. They met with mentors. They met with universities. They went through the internship program. Sorry, not universities, with companies. They went through the internship program. They went through the internship interviews and they all got jobs in the company. Some of them might be following OUSL. They might be doing other study programs at the moment. But the reason I wanted to share with you is what we are asking you to do has been tried and tested. So it's not something that, it's a new program. I have to accept that. But it is tried and tested. And these are students that you will get to meet hopefully through your journey when we will bring them to other industry events to share their story and their progress in their internships with you guys to hopefully encourage you guys to carry on and realize there is a light, a positive light at the end of this tunnel. As you can see, there are students who have joined some of the larger names that Mangala mentioned, but there are students who have joined some of the startups, some of the growing companies, because the experiences are all different, but all those experiences are valid and valuable for your career in the ICT industry. This is just to let you know that we do capture a lot of information. When we captured this, this is about 2-3 months old. So we do capture number of students registered. We measure how many women have signed up, how many males have signed up. We measure to see what hometown you registered from, because we want this platform to be accessible to everybody in Sri Lanka. And so our job in SLASSCOM, our job with OUSL, is to help track all of this information and share it with OUSL so that they also have this kind of information available. This is just a summary board, but this kind of information will be available with your tutors as you start progressing on Bridge. The tutors will be able to kind of see how you're progressing, so that if they want to make discussions around some of the learnings from Bridge, they will have visibility on who's progressing and who is not. So just for you to be aware that this kind of information will be available with the OUSL staff as well as your tutors. That's basically the whole presentation that I have for you today. And I think I've gone over time, but I'm just going to take 2 minutes just to click on the link and show you what Bridge looks like. So this is the landing page of Bridge. There's a little bit of information about the industry. It talks about the challenges. If you click on this, you get to the challenges. This is the public leaderboard, which is a very limited information because we don't share any of your personal information out there. It's only your Bridge ID that will be shown. So if you want to track how you're progressing for the moment, you can just see yourself through that. You know your Bridge ID, nobody else knows your Bridge ID. so you can track it. But like I mentioned, because this is specific for the OUSL program that you're doing, when you're registering, please click that you're an OUSL student, and you get an opportunity to mark your ID number. And please make sure you put that information in the demographic information when you're registering, because that is what's going to help us track and give the right reports to your OUSL staff. And this is the one that you'd be clicking, if I know how to click on it. Oh, why can't I click on it? Am I not a member? Maybe I need to register first. Sorry. Oh, no, I can't click on it. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. So when you click on the challenges, this is what you see. And like I mentioned, each one of these is considered a challenge. And when you click on the take it, you would go into each one of the challenges. There's a description, and then you have the 3 steps of what you need to do to complete the challenge. That's it from me. Dr. Udita, over to you.
And also I can see some questions in the chat box as well.
Yeah. Before we go on the chat box, can I just launch a couple of questions that we need to get there? This thing after that, Bani, are you in a hurry?
No, it's fine.
No, okay. Mangala?
Yes, no, that's fine.
Right, no, we just need to get the kind of the feeling of how they want to do it. Guys, now we are going to I have 2 questions that we want you to answer. It will be shown on this. It's coming, yeah.
Oh, you're using polls.
We want to know what is your language preference. language එක කියන්නේ ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයගලන්ට සිංහලෙන් හරි දෙමළෙන් හරි උදව් ඕනේද කියන එකයි මේක ප්‍රශ්නෙන් අපි අහන්නේ.
Can you see the poll? I can't.
I can see the poll.
I can see.
Yeah,
right.
I can see.
Okay.
47% are saying Sinhala at the moment. 24 are saying Tamil, and 28% are saying English so far, and it's moving. 50% Sinhala, 23% Tamil, 26% English. 3, 4, 5. About 600, 700 have filled it so far. Mm. 80% have voted so far, Dr. Udita. 82% have voted.
Not bad, huh?
%84, moving slowly now. I feel like I'm watching a cricket match.
We want to have one more question to ask you. Okay, so we have got 51% of 86% of the total participants saying they might need some help in Sinhala. ඔයගලන්ට 150ක් කියලා තියෙනවා සිංහල උදව් ඕනේ වෙයි කියලා ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එක කරන්න. ඊළඟට 124ක් කියලා තියෙනවා තමිල් උදව් ඕනේ කියලා කරන්න. 125ක් කියලා තියෙනවා ඒ භාෂා දෙකෙන් උදව් නැතුව සමන්ට ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එක කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් කියලා.
English වලින් පුළුවන් කියලා.
ඔව් ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින් පුළුවන් කියලා. Thank you very much. Then I have one more question, which is more important. I mean, both questions are important. Okay. Then we have one more question. Right. Then the other question is. Okay. May Prasidi, this question we are asking about the day where you want to follow interactive sessions. That is where we have tutorials, classes, etc. අපිට දැනගන්න ඕනේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කියන්නේ සති ඕන දවසක පුළුවන්ද එහෙම නැත්නම් වීකෙන්ඩ් එකේ විතරද පුළුවන් වීක් ඩේස් වල පුළුවන් අය ඉන්නවද එහෙම නැත්නම් සැටර්ඩේ විතරක් පුළුවන් අය ඉන්නවද සන්ඩේ විතරක් පුළුවන් අය ඉන්නවද ඒ ටික තමයි මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ අහන්නේ කරුණාකරලා මේකට පුළුවන් ඉක්මනට උත්තර දෙන්න අපිට තව ඉතුරු ඔයගලගේ question and answer session එකට යන්න.
Dr. Madhurapanam, can you ask Ahali to translate it to Tamil also?
Is Ali there?
Yes, I am here.
Can you translate it to Tamil, Ali?
Sorry, sir. Shall I translate it?
Can you just translate, because we are trying to find out, whether they can come on any day on the week, Monday to Sunday, or whether only it's Monday to Friday, or Monday to Friday afternoons, or Saturdays and Sundays, or only Saturdays, only Sundays.
Okay.
Just translate it into Tamil.
Right. Students, உங்களுக்கு வந்து உங்களோட செஷன்ஸை வந்து ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறதுக்கு வந்து உங்களுக்கு டைம் கொடுப்பட்டிருக்கு. நீங்கள் வந்து திங்கட்கிழமையிலேருந்து வெள்ளிக்கிழமை வரைக்கும் வரதா, அல்லது சனி அல்லது ஞாயிறில் நீங்கள் ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறதா, அல்லது திங்கள்லேருந்து வெள்ளி பின்னேற டைமில் வாரத்துக்கு உங்களுக்கு வசதியாக இருக்குமான்னு சொல்லி உங்களுக்கு கேட்டிருக்கு போடல. அதில் வந்து நீங்கள் செலக்ட் பண்ணி உங்களோட ப்ரிஃபரன்ஸை, உங்களோட நீங்கள் எதுக்கு விரும்புகிறீங்கிறத எக்ஸ்கியூஸ் மீ கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு ஈஸியாக இருக்கும். குரூப் உங்களுக்கு டிவைட் பண்ணி சரியாக பிரிச்செடுக்கிறதுக்கு. ஓகே சார்.
தேங்க்யூ. No, these questions are only to get an idea about where we should be putting more effort into allocating people. Now, at the moment, 33% say they can do any day on Monday to Sunday. Then there are 34% they say, okay, weekends right now. Out of 71% that have polled, very small number say they can come only on Saturdays. Some say they can come only on Sundays.
இதில் வந்து நீங்கள் உங்களோட போல்ஸில் வந்து உங்களோட விருப்பங்களை தெரிவிச்சிங்கன்னு சொன்னால் எங்களுக்கு வந்து ஈஸியாக இருக்கும் உங்களோட குரூப்பில் பிரிச்செடுக்கிறது. ஸோ நீங்கள் அதில் உங்களோட முன்னுரிமைகளை கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா நல்லா இருக்கும்.
This is not definitive. Make a definitive දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. අපිට මේක idea එකක් ගන්න විතරයි. අපේ classes schedule කරන්න අපිට idea එකක් ගන්න විතරයි මේක අහන්නේ. මේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ ඒවා අපි record කරන්නේත් නැහැ. අපි number එක විතරයි බලාගන්නේ. ඒකින්ද ඔයගොල්ලන් හරි එක කියන්න ඊට පස්සේ වෙනස් කරන්න උනොත් වෙනස් කරගන්නත් පුළුවන්.
இது வந்து சரியான இதை வச்சு தான் இது உங்களை டிசைட் பண்ண போறது இல்லை. எங்களுக்கு ஒரு சரியான ஐடியா எடுக்கிறதுக்காக தான் இந்த இது கேட்டுக்கொண்டிருக்கிறோம் நாங்கள். ஸோ நீங்கள் வைக்கிற உங்களோட முன்னுரிமை, நீங்கள் கொடுக்குற முன்னுரிமையை பொறுத்து நாங்கள் அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி நடவடிக்கை எடுக்கிறதுக்கு உதவியாக இருக்கும்.
86% have voted, 87%. I feel like recruitment.
I think
88%.
When it comes to 90%, we will stop. I think it's not going to come to 90%. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Done.
fine. Done. Okay. So as per your thing, I think 30% can do any day. Then another 34% can only do over weekends. So okay, we have an idea.
Here's the results. Yeah, it says 30% any day.
Yeah, and 34% say only on weekends. Then there are 13% weekday afternoons, weekday mornings, and 16% say weekday evenings, and 2% on Saturdays, 5% on Sundays. So we have a good idea about how it is. Thank you very much.
So we have a few questions in the chat.
Yeah, now we will take the
box.
questions.
Yes.
Thank you very much for participating on the party. Now we have a very fair idea of how we should be, what our challenges are on scheduling. Thank you very much. Okay, now let's take some questions. I think
Yes, I think quite a lot of questions are there, Bani, about the registration of for the Future Careers Bridge. One FAQ is, if they have already registered and submit challenges, what they do, Bani.
Okay, same question.
Yeah,
Bani,
same
okay.
question. Bani is, I think, now quite expert of answering this question.
So in other words, they registered before they were OUSL students.
Yes,
no, because
yes.
they
Now
have heard about it, and I mean, those are the once you mark and recruit immediately because they have shown enthusiasm, right?
Correct. So I think the answer we have been giving is the challenges you have done. You you don't have to redo the challenges, but we might want you to re-register and make sure that you click the OUSL so that we can give you credit for the fact that you're an OUSL student. If you've done a lot of challenges, then maybe you can reach out to Bridge. I can put the Bridge ID, Bridge email address for you to ask the question.
Can I say something, Udita? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
Dr. Nalin, we
yes.
can hear you.
Yeah, so for those who have already registered, we will be asking them a question on the LMS. We'll have a questionnaire for them to identify themselves, and then we will try to transfer their account to OUSL account. That is what we have discussed with Tidula, right? But it's not guaranteed. So basically, if they have only done a few challenges or not done anything, they should wait until they get the S number and then register using the link that has been given on the chat. And the link will also be sent to them to the email. There's a special link to register for BSc students. That's very important for them to understand that. And when you register with that link, they will need the student ID number, which will be sent to them tonight.
Thank you, Nalin. That's a lot more clearer than my answer.
Yes, there is a question about the data science career track, and so I can actually answer that question. Of course, data scientist and data science, the area is within IT industry jobs, that's for sure. But when it comes to data science or data scientist, we need more mathematical and statistical understanding rather than more programming language understanding. So of course, the data science and, as I said, data scientist is one of the jobs that we have in the industry. But the background and you should be more, you need to know mathematical thinking, statistical thinking, rather than computational thinking to succeed in data science. Yeah, that's my answer. So few others are also raising hands. Maybe you can. Dr. Madhura Perumal, some are raising their hands, but I don't know whether they can unmute themselves.
They can unmute now. they can unmute.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So, sir, you had told us that you would value our, personal projects, so projects we had collaborated on
Yeah.
during our interview. So, let's say that we had an IT project which was more oriented towards the betterment of our society. A small project. Would you value that?
It's like this actually. If I emphasize what I said, of course, I mean, if that you might have a project that which really create a value and how can I say, like, impact to the users. That's one thing. But when I mentioned about the how we evaluate your technical skills is, it's more based on what sort of technologies that you used in the project, and that is what I really meant by that, to be honest.
Yes, sir. And also, sir, I have another doubt. In the challenges you have displayed, there are a few challenges that would require us to code, right? So in those
Yes.
situations, if we let's say wrote better code, I mean code with better readability and simplicity, and better commented code, would
Yeah.
we get better points? I mean, there are some key skills when it comes to profession, right?
Yes. I think Bani, I'll answer. Do you want to answer this question?
Let me just explain how it's connected to the leaderboard, but then you can explain the quality of code, etc. So there are two bits of information on the Bridge platform that we try to capture. One is answering the questions, and then one is the submission. If you're writing code and you write better code, etc., that goes into the submission component, not the MCQ questionnaire component. The leaderboard doesn't capture the quality of code you write in the submission, but that information will be sitting on Bridge, so that when the recruiters come into Bridge and when you have been shortlisted and they want to get to know you a little bit better, then they will dive into some of those qualitative submissions to try and assess more information about you other than just what is on the leaderboard. So it's two different aspects. Yes. Okay,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yeah.
I have one more question, ma'am. I finished with that. So you had said that we should participate more in open source projects like in GitHub and all. So everyone would say like try to search for chances and all, but in practice it's very hard to get a part in those projects, right? Because more in a global level, and we as Sri Lankans, and the hardships when we are trying to get into those from our country. So what is your advice for us to get into open source projects and such projects to build our skills and such things?
Mangala, I'm going to let you answer that because that's linked to the piece that you'll be doing.
Yeah, I understand. Like, the contributing to open source project is competitive, I know. But if I give you a different answer for this, I think that there's a site called HackerRank. So what a lot of the university students and also, even the industry, the employees are doing is actually you can actually go to HackerRank and create the profile and just try to the contribute and solve challenges and so on. So that is another way of that you can actually build your profile by the practicing. But I agree with you, like contributing to open source projects is competitive. Yeah, that I agree. But when it comes to GitHub thing, what Bani mentioned, Bani, just correct me if I'm wrong, but basically you need to have a GitHub account or something, right? It's not about trying to contribute to open source projects. Probably you misunderstood it.
Yeah, so what I meant by that is one of the challenges is asking you to create a blog and to keep that blog active. So that is your own blog. You can be picking any subject you want. Why we have put that in Bridge is to, one, get you to understand the concept of open source and sharing information and staying current. Because It could be maybe it's not in that open source space of things that you mentioned, Mangala, because I'm not familiar with the tech side, but we do want to get you to be part of that industry or be part of that social media world. And we are also very keen that you are asking questions. For example, you're learning from them, you're sharing what you learn. It's that we're measuring.
Thanks, man, and thanks.
Excuse me.
So I have questions.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, which language is most common and industrial language? Could you please explain to me?
When you say language, are you talking about
Language
the
means
programming
Java
language?
or Python?
Programming.
Programming language, PL.
Yes, I mean, if you take programming languages, and now actually Python is trending, and Java, and also when it comes to the web and mobile development, there is React Native. I mean, there are a number of programming languages. I can't specifically say one particular language, as I mentioned at the beginning. So there are a number of such programming languages which are having the bigger demands. Yes, but I can't specifically say learn Java or learn Python or learn React or React Native or Angular. The thing is that the best thing is that you learn the fundamental, as I said, and then do a project with the sort of full stack thing that which covers the database understanding, how you can connect to the database, how you can write the middle tier part, and how you can write the front end the application which runs on web, and also create a mobile application. Then basically that will create the proper skill set for you to enter to the industry. But I can't specifically mention learn Java or learn Python. I mean, all these languages are trending, and all depends on what kind of projects that particular company is doing and what kind of tech stacks that company is using. It really depends.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing I
so
want to add
it
there.
doesn't.
Sorry, I just want to add there. Different companies, depending on the type of work they're doing, could be using different languages. Now, Mangala mentioned a whole heap, but if you look at LSCG Tech, we need C++.
Yes.
Not a lot of companies use C++, but we need it. So it depends on the different companies and what they're working on. And I'm going to assume it's going to evolve from there as well. In another year, it might be very different because of the industry we are in, the type of clients we are in, the type of products we are creating. So
yes.
Mangala, can I just,
sure.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think if you are good in any of these modern languages, you can always find a place somewhere.
Absolutely.
Either one company or the other.
Absolutely.
Whatever the language that you are good with, I mean, not something
Yes.
like Fortran probably you won't need, but any of these modern languages, more probably, I mean, you will find a job somewhere.
Absolutely. I mean, entry-level jobs. If I emphasize it, like, if you are looking for the tech lead for Python, that's a different level that we are looking for. But if we are looking for the Python the employee or Python software engineer, we might probably hire a very good Java developer, because we know that at the when it comes to entry level expectation, you can switch from one language to another very easily if you know one language very well, and if you have used that language very well. That is what I said, that if you know the fundamentals, if you know one particular tech stack, and we know that you can easily the transfer to another tech stack. So for the entry level, doesn't matter, do something well, and then we know that we can hire you for the programming languages as well. But if it is about the architect or senior software engineer or tech lead, that's a different story, because then you have gone very far. Yeah.
Excuse me,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
For the entry-level students like us, I want you to answer this question from the perspective Sri Lankan companies would have for us. Like, should we learn higher-level languages or low-level languages, sir? Because I know there are different answers on the internet, but from the perspective of our Sri Lankan companies, in like 4 years when we graduate, what do you think would be the demand for? would there be demand for higher level languages or just low level languages like C or C# or something like that?
I mean, again, it all depends on what projects companies are running. I can't, yeah, I can't actually exactly tell you what it is.
Idea
But,
එකක් ගන්න විතරලු ඒක අහලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ ප්‍රශ්නේ.
Can you mute your mic, those who are not?
We can hear your the background discussions as well.
ඒක idea එකක් ගන්න විතරයි කියලා කිව්වේද මම නිකන් දුන්නත්.
Can you mute your mic, please? Others who are not asking questions.
Please translate to Tamil, sir.
Excuse me, sir. If we transfer to the computer science BSc faculty on second year, our career path will be different or the same?
You know, the industry needs both type of people. You know, when you go to computer science, it's the software engineering mostly concentrated on software engineering side, you know, developing, implementing systems. When you go to computer science, it's like a more theoretical knowledge, in-depth knowledge in a particular thing. So both things are needed by the industry. You know, there are computer scientists, there are software engineers. So it will depend on how you want to do it. I mean, the demand is there. Basically, I don't know. If I'm wrong, you know, you correct Mangal and Bani.
Yes.
If we gonna do like data science.
Sorry, if I may just explain one other aspect. I think everybody seems to be getting a little worked up about what languages to learn and be ready with. One of the reasons we have created Bridge, and Bridge is created through SLASSCOM, which is the industry, is as we think some of these ones are trending, we will edit as challengers in Bridge. That is one indication. Two, if it is different languages that might not be trending that are needed, most of those companies will actually have those kinds of trainings in the companies. So I don't think you need to worry about that.
Yes.
But the whole idea is you need to stay abreast. You need to be learning a language. You need to be using that language to code, to problem solve, because it's the concept of learning and problem solving that we're interested in. It's not necessarily just the language, but it is also the experience you get in interacting in the languages. I hope I'm making the difference. That is important, and that is what you also need to be.
Yeah, from a programming concept, I mean, academic perspective, I always tell my students, don't learn a language, learn programming. Because then you can apply it in any different language, you know, once you know programming. When you know what a loop is, you know, it's just different syntax, you know.
Exactly. And also, if you take programming languages, all these tech stacks, they basically, you know, they change every year and every second year. So I think what is important is you learn those fundamentals well and use those fundamentals in particular tech stack and do it well. So I mean, basically, you can learn other things easily, and even organization can convert you easily. Yeah. I mean, since you are talking about the entry level, don't worry about
question that many people are asking.
Sure.
I'll just answer them. So your S number, your email address, and your LMS account will be mailed to you by tomorrow morning. After tomorrow morning, you will get your OUSL email address, your student ID, and your Microsoft account credentials, as well as your LMS credentials by tomorrow morning. The other one is on the 10th, we are starting. After that, we will be doing this what we call English for general academic purposes and empowering for independent learning, how to learn on your own as well as English. And the future careers with challenges, you will be starting doing from the 10th. Okay.
So, what about the Coursera access?
Yeah, Coursera access, we are still discussing. Once we get that, we will also give that to you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, please translate to Tamil.
Ali? Ali, are you there?
Sir, we want more, sir.
If you don't mind, can
Yes,
I translate?
I'll do.
Please.
ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் என்ன சொல்லப்பட்டதுன்னு சொன்னால் உங்களுக்குரிய எஸ் நம்பர், உங்களுக்குரிய இமெயில், ஓயூஎஸ்எல் இமெயில் ஐடி, அதே நேரம் உங்களோட எல்எம்எஸ் நீங்கள் போகிறதுக்குரிய உங்களுக்குரிய அந்த லிங்க், மற்ற எல்லா டீட்டெயில்ஸும் வந்து நீங்கள் ஏற்கனவே கொடுத்த இமெயிலுக்கு வந்து பை டுமாரோ மார்னிங், நாளைக்கு மார்னிங் இடையில உங்களுக்கு வந்து அனுப்பப்படும் என்று சொல்லப்பட்டது.
ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ தேங்க்யூ.
மேடம், நாளைக்கு அனுப்பப்பட்டது அப்புறம் அதில் ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணணும்.
ஆமாம், அதுல தான் உங்களுக்குரிய எஸ் நம்பர் வரும். அதை வச்சுக்கொண்டு தான் நீங்க கட்டாயம் செய்யணும். ஜென்ரலா செய்ய போகாதீங்க. அந்த எஸ் நம்பரை வச்சு தான் நீங்க ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணுங்க. இமெயில் ஐடி
செக்ல போட்டிக்கிறது நம்ம காப்பி பண்ண தேவை, நாளை மெயில்ல வரத பார்த்து செய்யலாம்.
ஹலோ மேடம்,
லிங்க் மெயில்ல இருந்தா
for the general
madam,
our classes will be started.
Yeah, from the 10th. Now we are having the inauguration on the 4th. After that, from 10th, your activities will start. The orientation program, which is the EFIL, which is empowering for independent learning, how to learn, how to make a presentation, how to write a report, etc., will be done. Then English for general academic purposes, that is how to use the English language, report writing, etc., presentation skill in English will be done, as well as then you will have time to do future career with challenges also.
And until 10th, may I ask everybody to go and read what is in the BSc web. Sorry, I have done the address wrong. It's www.ou.ac.lk/BSc. Please read this or everything in this web page. And then there is a student guidebook there, and read the student guidebook.
Hello, miss.
Yeah.
Hello.
Can 1 minute. Let me repeat it because I got disturbance. What I was telling is, please read all the information given in this web page. Now, most of the things that you are asking in the chat is given in the web page. And then there is this student guidebook uploaded there. You can download the student guidebook and read it from start to the end. Then all these answers are there. Right, and we will start on, as Dr. Madhura Perumal said, we will start on 10th of July. So on English and the in other induction program, and then we will meet you there.
Okay, students, உங்களுக்கு என்ன சொல்லப்பட்டதுன்னா உங்களுடைய chatல போட்டிருக்குது www.ouaclk.bsc.hons என்று சொல்லி இருக்கு. அதுல போய் நீங்க உங்களுக்கு தேவையான, நீங்க இதுல கேட்கிற எல்லா கொஸ்டின்ஸுக்கும் வந்து ஆன்சர் இருக்கு. அதுல வந்து பிஎஸ்சி ஹேண்ட்புக் இருக்கு. அதை டவுன்லோட் பண்ணி உங்களுக்கு வாசிங்க. உங்களுக்கு தேவையான டவுட்ஸ் எல்லாமே அதுல இருக்கு. அதோட வந்து ஜூலை 10ஆம் தேதி உங்களுக்குரிய அந்த ஏற்கனவே சொல்லப்பட்ட அந்த செஷன்ஸ் வந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும். அப்போ உங்களுக்கு அது சரியான முறையில இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணப்படும்.
ஹலோ மேடம்.
Yes.
Madam.
Yes.
Madam, I speak Tamil.
சொல்லுங்க.
மேடம், நான் வந்து இந்த முதல் டைம் கேட்டதில் அவைலபிள் டைம் அண்ட் சூம் நடக்கிறதுக்குரிய
விளங்க இல்ல.
அந்த போல் ரிசல்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு, அது அந்த டைம்ல நான் அப்ளை பண்ணல. என்ன டைம் அவைலபிளா இருக்குமாண்டு ஆன்லைன் கிளாஸ்.
நீங்க இப்ப இந்த சைக்கிள் இந்த இதுக்குரிய ஆளா நீங்க இல்ல ஏற்கனவே ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ண ஆளா?
இல்ல இதுக்குரிய ஆளா.
என்ன கேக்குறீங்க?
இப்ப எந்தெந்த டைம் கிளாஸ் நடக்கலாம்னு இப்ப கேட்டவே இல்ல.
ஓமோ,
அந்த டைம் கவரேஜ் ப்ராப்ளம்னால வெளியில போயிட்டு வந்தேன். சோ அதுல vote
இல்ல அது பிரச்சனை இல்ல. அது வந்து ஒரு ஐடியா எடுக்கிறதுக்காக தானே. இதுல வந்து கூட இருக்கிறாங்கன்னு சொல்லி குரூப் பிரிக்கிறதுக்காக தான் கேட்டேன். அது பிரச்சனை இல்ல. ஓகே, உங்களுக்கு சொல்லப்படும்.
Hello, miss. Miss. Hello.
Dr. Udita and Dr. Madhura Perumal, I need to drop out to connect to another call. Is it okay if I drop out? I think most of the questions are related to now the academy point of view.
I think so, yeah, Mangala.
Is it okay, right? So all the best, students, and
If they ask about the industry, we'll lie.
sure, definitely. We have Bali there, so Bali will definitely fill in. Okay.
Udita.
Okay, thank you, Mangala, for coming at such a short notice.
Hello, sir. I need to ask Tamil question.
Yeah, go ahead.
சொல்லுங்க.
என்னென்ன மீஸ் இந்த இதுல வந்து அந்த ஸ்லாஸ்கோம்ல ஏற்கனவே நாங்க அந்த ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்றதுக்கு அந்த மெசேஜ் வந்து ஐடியும் பாஸ்வேர்டும் தந்த. இப்ப நாங்க இப்ப அதை வச்சு இப்ப எங்களுக்கு நார்மல் மெசேஜ்ல வந்தது ஐடி நம்பரும் பாஸ்வேர்டும். அப்ப அதுக்குள்ள அதை சேர்த்து லிங்க் அனுப்பணும். இப்ப நாங்க அந்த லிங்க கிளிக் பண்ணி போய் அந்த ஐடி பாஸ்வேர்டை கொடுத்து நாங்க செய்யவா இல்ல நீங்க ஏதோ இமெயில் வரும்னு சொன்னீங்க அந்த
உங்களுக்கு எஸ் நம்பர் வரும். எஸ் நம்பரும் OUSL ஓபன் யூனிவர்சிட்டிக்குரிய இமெயில் ஐடியும் வரும். அதை வச்சுக்கொண்டு தான் நீங்க ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ண வேணும்.
அப்ப எங்களுக்கு இங்க ஏற்கனவே வந்து இப்ப நார்மல் மெசேஜ்ல ஸ்லாஸ்காம்ல இருந்து வந்த அந்த ஐடியும் அந்த பாஸ்வேர்டையும் யூஸ் பண்ண தேவையில்ல.
எஸ் நம்பருக்கு நீங்க வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க. இந்த எஸ் நம்பர் உங்களுக்கு இந்த எஸ் நம்பர் வேணும் கட்டாயம். உங்களை ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ண உங்களை யாரண்டு இது கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுக்கு.
ஓகே.
எக்ஸ்கியூஸ் மீ எஸ் நம்பர் அனுப்புங்கடா. ஹலோ
சொல்லுங்க.
ஹலோ மிஸ், என்னடா எப்ப மிஸ் இந்த இது ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணீங்க கிளாஸ்?
எஸ் நம்பர்.
ஹலோ
விளங்குறீங்க என்ன கேக்குறீங்கன்னு?
கிளாஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுது
ஜூலை 10.
ஜூலை 10 இங்கிலீஷ் ப்ரோக்ராமா இல்ல கோர்ஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகுதா?
இங்கிலீஷும் உங்களுக்கு இந்த இஃபில்னு சொல்ற அந்த ஜெனரலா அவங்களோட சில சேலஞ்சஸ் நீங்க செய்யறதுக்குரியது தொடங்கும். அதுக்கு பிறகுதான் உங்களுக்குரிய மற்ற செமஸ்டர் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும்.
ஹலோ மிஸ்.
ஓகே.
இமெயிலுக்கு அந்த லிங்க் வரும் ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்றதுக்கு
எல்லாம் வரும். ஆமாம், உங்களுக்கு அந்த இமெயிலுக்கு வரும்.
ஹலோ மிஸ்.
அந்த எங்களுக்கு அந்த எஸ் நம்பரோட சேர்த்து அந்த நாங்க சேலஞ்சஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றதுக்குரிய லிங்க்கும் வருமா மிஸ்?
ஆமா.
ஹலோ மிஸ், எக்ஸ்கியூஸ் மீ மிஸ்.
ஹலோ.
உங்களுக்கு எதுவும் டவுட் இருந்தா உங்களுக்கு chatல போட்டுருக்க பாருங்க bsc@ousl.lk அதுக்கு வந்து நீங்க மெயில் பண்ணலாம்.
நான் கேட்க வர்றது என்னன்னா வந்து மிஸ் அந்த இதுல கூகுள் ஃபார்ம் ஒன்று வந்திருக்குது. கூகுள் ஃபார்ம் ஒன்று வந்திருக்குது. ஹலோ.
No, not kilogram. That is
ஹலோ மிஸ். ஹலோ.
சொல்லுங்க.
கூகுள் அந்த கூகுள் ஃபார்ம் ஒன்று வந்திருக்கு. அந்த செக் பாக்ஸ் அந்த ஃபார்மை ஃபில் பண்றதுக்கும் இந்த ஐடி அதெல்லாம் கேட்குறாங்க. அதையும் அதுலேயும் தான் எடுக்கணும். அதை ஃபில் பண்ணணுமா கட்டாயம்?
கூகுள் ஃபார்ம் இப்போ நீங்க அந்த பொல் அதுக்கு வந்ததா கேக்குறீங்க?
இல்ல இந்த செக் பாக்ஸ்ல மேல வந்திருக்கு கூகுள் ஃபார்ம் உண்டு. அது போனா கூகுளுக்கு தான் போகுது. அந்த ஹெல்ப் டெஸ்க்.
Can I just interrupt for 1 minute, please? Those who do not have any questions, you can leave. I mean,
anyone can translate Sinhala?
Yes.
Hello sir.
இந்த क्वेश्चन இல்லன்னு சொன்னா நீங்க லீவ் பண்ணலாம்னு சொல்லப்பட்டது.
மேடம். ஹலோ மேடம்.
Udita, can we create a breakout room and then Tamil people can ask those questions in that one? No.
Hello miss. Seen a doubt?
Gani miss.
Hello sir.
Hello miss.
கான்டாக்ட் பண்ணலாமா?
மெயில் வருது அந்த ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிட்டோம். ரெஜிஸ்டர் கம்ப்ளீட்டட் உழுவுது. அதுக்குரிய SLASSCOM இது மீட்டிங் ஐடி எங்களுக்கு இமெயிலுக்கு வந்து இல்ல.
இதுக்குரிய என்ன வர இல்ல?
இந்த SLASSCOM நடக்குது தானே, செஷன்ஸ் இந்த மீட்டிங்
ஆமா, உங்களுக்கு வந்து அந்த எஸ் நம்பரும் இமெயில் ஐடியும் வந்து நாளைக்கு மார்னிங் கிடையில உங்களுக்கு வரும். அதை வச்சுக்கொண்டு தான் நீங்க ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ண வேணும்.
எஸ் நம்பர் இல்லாம ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணாங்கல என்ன மிஸ்?
இல்ல அது உங்களுக்கு எஸ் நம்பர் கட்டாயம் முக்கியம். அதை வச்சுக்கொண்டு நீங்க செய்யணும். அது ஸ்டூடண்ட்
அதங்க மெயிலுக்கு வரும்.
ஆமா,
நான் ஏற்கனவே எஸ் நம்பர் இல்லாம ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிட்டேன் மிஸ். என்ன செய்யணும்?
இன்ஸ்டால்மென்ட் கட்டி ரெஜிஸ்டர் ஆயிட்டோம். அதுக்குரிய மெயில் ஒன்னு வருது இல்லையா மிஸ்? வர இல்லையா எங்களுக்கு ரெஜிஸ்டர் ஆயிட்டீங்கன்னு சொல்லி?
ஒண்ணும் செய்யல. அது திரும்ப முதல்ல என்ன செய்யணும்?
எனக்கு ஒரு ஆளா கேளுங்க கொஸ்டின். எல்லாரும் கழிச்சிங்கன்னா எனக்கு ஆன்சர் பண்ற கஷ்டம்.
இந்த இன்றைக்கு தான் ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணி இன்றைக்கு காசு பே பண்ணி இன்றைக்கு ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிக்கார் ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்ட் ஒருத்தர். அவருக்கு இதை கான்டாக்ட் பண்ணி போகலாமா?
எதுக்கு? ஃபியூச்சர் கரியர் சேலஞ்சஸ்க்கா?
இந்த ஓயூஎஸ்எலுக்கு தான், இந்த புக்டாஞ்சனி கோர்ஸு.
விலங்கல் அதுக்கு பே பண்ணி போயிட்டாரு அப்படியா?
இல்ல அவர் இன்றைக்கு தான் பே பண்ணி ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிக்கார். இன்றைக்கு தான் டெட்லைன்.
Hello sir, excuse me. Question එකක් තියෙනවා අහන්නද?
sorry ma'am.
අපි මොන challenges වලට access හම්බෙන්නේ? Hello. Challenges වලට access හම්බෙන්නේ කොහොමද? අපි කරන්නේ කොහොමද?
නෑ access වලට දැන් අපි දැන් ඔයගලන්ට OUSL නම්බරේ දුන්නාට පස්සේ ඒ නම්බරෙන් ගිහිල්ලා ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඒ challenges site එකට ගිහිල්ලා register වෙලා challenges ටික කරන්නේ ඒක
අප බාහිර
දෙයක්.
ඔබට වෙජි වලිය.
අපිට තාම මේ ID එක ලැබිලා නැහැ නේද?
ඒක තමයි මම දැන් පොඩි විනාඩි 5කට කලින් මම කිව්වනේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහන් ඉන්නේ නැහැ නේ කියන එක. මම කිව්වනේ ඔයගලන්ට ස්ටුඩන්ට් ID එකයි ස්ටුඩන්ට් රෙජිස්ට්‍රේෂන් නම්බර් එකයි උදේට අපි එවනවා කියලා.
සර් මාගේ පේමන්ට් එක තාම අප්ඩේට් වෙලා නැහැ සර්.
සර් මේ ටයිම් අපි පේමන්ට් තාම අප්ඩේට් වෙලා නැහැ.
පේමන්ට් අප්ඩේට් වෙලා නැති අය
කතා කරලා දැක්කේ.
hello
excuse me sir අපේ classes
ඉන්න පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න. දැන් මේ පේමන්ට් අප්ඩේට් වෙලා නැති අයගේ ගොඩක් අයගේ අපිට රික්වෙස්ට් ඊමේල් එවලා තියෙන අයගේ අපි දැන් ප්‍රොසෙස් කරගෙන යනවා. අපිට ගොඩාක් හම්බෙලා තියෙනවා queries. සමහර අය ළමයින්ගේ වැරදි හින්දා වැරදි නම්බර දාලා ඒවා කොහොම එකින් එක බල හදාගෙන යනවා. ඒක වෙනකොට ඒ ටික හරියයි.
excuse me
sir තාම OSS SLASSCOM boot camp එක කරා. මට දැනගන්න ඕනේ මම challenge ටික ආයෙ කරන්න ඕනද කියලා.
Bani.
excuse me sir
yeah done the boot camp whether they have to do the challenges again.
The birth certificate upload பண்ண வரல miss. அத என்ன அப்படி miss upload.
Can I ask him to ask that question in the bridge, send that question to bridge, because I think the thing is that's he has done it, but you have to still transfer him to OUSL. So I think Nalin was the best one to ask it, or if he can ask the question into the bridge email address. There is a bridge email address to ask all these.
bridge email address එකකට දාලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට දන්නවා ඒගොල්ලෝ උත්තරයක් එවයි වාට.
Because he's a special case. He would be a very small group. So ඒක මෙතන කියන්න ටිකක් අමාරුයි.
Thank you.
excuse me sir
yes
July 10th අපේ classes physically ද පටන් ගන්න virtually ද?
නෑ අපිට physically කරන්න බෑනේ මේ තියෙන situation එක ඔක්කොම දැනට යන්නේ online. මේ situation එක improve වුණාට පස්සේ conditions හරි ගියාට පස්සේ තමයි අපි අපේ physical මොන හරි activities කරනවා නම් කරන්නේ. ඒ වෙනකන් අපි online තමයි ඔක්කොම activities තියෙන්නේ online තමයි lectures tutorials ඔක්කොම කරන්නේ online තමයි දැනට.
Okay sir, thank you so much.
Shall we wind up now, because we will be having the inauguration on Sunday. Yeah, and then
sir, I speak with Tamal.
කරන්න ගින්නවා නම් මේ සයන්ස් ස්ට්‍රීම් එකෙන් කරලා තියෙනවද?
මොකද්ද?
අපි මේකේ කම්පියුටර් සයන්ස් faculty එකට මාරු වෙන්න හිතන් ඉන්නවා.
ඔව් කම්පියුටර් සයන්ස් කරන අය නම් උදිසා මොකද්ද මේ subject එක?
ඒකත් ඉතින් web page එකේ දාලා තියෙනවා. Can you go to the web? That is what I said. Now there will be no end to these questions. First you have to read the web page and then come on Sunday. If there are any more things that is not written on the web page, we can answer. Otherwise
ඒ විදිහට ඔක්කොම අපේ web page එකේ දාලා තියෙනවා. එතන ගිහලා පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න www.ou.ac.lk/bsehons.
Okay, thank you
sir. Index number එකයි results ටිකයි විතරක් දැම්මට කමක් නැහැ නේ sir. index number එකයි result ටිකයි දැම්මට කමක් නැහැ නේ sir.
දාලා අර මේක අප්ලෝඩ් කරන්න ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ certificate එක.
nick number එකත් identity එකත් දැම්ම photo එක අර website එකේ photo එකක් දාන්න ඕනේ නෑනේ.
certificate එක හරි ඔයගොල්ලන්ට certificate එක නැත්නම් අර website එකෙන් download කරන එක හරි දාන්න අපිට දැනගන්න විදියක් තියෙන්න බෑ මේක හරිද කියන එක.
හරි. Thank you sir.
Sir, I
registration
speak to
වලින්
Tamal.
check කරන්න ඕනේ නේ.
Ma'am, can I speak Tamil?
registration කළා දැන් අපි ඉරිදා තියෙනවා
Hello ma'am.
inauguration එක ඊට පස්සේ ආයි 10 වෙනිදා ඉඳන් අපි activities පටන් ගන්නවා අපි. ඒ අතරතුර කාලේ
ආයි orientation එකක් තියෙනවද?
orientation එක තමයි 10 වෙනිදා පටන් ගන්න.
Hello sir.
Ma'am, தமிழ்ல ஒரு டவுட் ஒன்று கேட்கட்டா?
சொல்லுங்க.
ஜூலை 10 ஆன்லைன்ல கிளாஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணோம்.
இப்ப வந்து ஆன்லைன்ல தான் நடந்து கொண்டிருக்கும். எல்லா சிச்சுவேஷன் எல்லாம் சரி வந்ததுக்கு பிறகுதான் நேரடியா நடக்கிறத பற்றி உங்களுக்கு அறிய தரப்படும்.
ஹலோ மேம்.
ஓகே மேம். சரி.
ஹலோ
ஹலோ மேம்.
மேம் உங்களை காண்டாக்ட் பண்ணலாமா?
சொல்லுங்க.
காண்டாக்ட் பண்ணலாமா மேம் ப்ளீஸ்?
என்ன செய்ய போறீங்க?
காண்டாக்ட் பண்ணலாமா? உங்க நம்பர் சென்ட் எனி ஹெல்ப்.
bsc@ousl.lk க்கு உங்களுடைய தேவையான क्वेश्चंஸை வந்து நீங்க இமெயில் பண்ணலாம்.
தமிழ்லயுமா?
ஹலோ மிஸ்.
ஹலோ மிஸ்.
yes
பண்ணுங்க.
වෙනදා ඉම ගිහිල්ලා register වෙලා challenges පටන් ගන්න ඕනද?
So for challenges, what we said is wait till you get the student ID and the OUSL email address.
ஹலோ மிஸ்.
Yes.
ஏற்கனவே நாங்கள் அப்ளை பண்ணியிருந்தா என்ன செய்யறது? ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ஐடி இல்லாம.
He is asking whether he already registered without his number, it seems.
So for those students didn't they have to fill that form that was posted on the chat box earlier, right?
Yes.
No.
So anyway, we will sort that out when you come to the first icebreaker session and the e-fill. We will sort all the other questions, like if you have already started the challenges before you get student ID.
என்ன விவரமா
உங்களுக்கு என்ன சொல்லப்பட்டதுன்னா நீங்க ஏற்கனவே இந்த உங்களுக்கு தரப்பட்ட எஸ் நம்பர் இல்லாம ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணார்கள். ரெண்டு பிரச்சனைகள் வந்து உங்களுக்கு இந்த இனோகிரேஷன் பிறகு உங்களுக்கு ஐஸ் பிரேக்கர் செஷன் ஒன்று நடக்கும். இப்படியான பிரச்சனைகள் அதுல உங்களுக்கு கதைக்கப்பட்டு அதுக்குரிய தீர்வு வழங்கப்படும்.
மிஸ் பேமெண்ட் பே பண்ணியாச்சு ப்ராப்ளம்
chat box එකේ තියෙන form එක මොකක්ද?
மேடம்
இல்லங்க இல்ல
பேமெண்ட் பே பண்ணா ப்ராப்ளம் இல்லையா?
பேமெண்ட்
பே பண்ணியாச்சு அப்ப ப்ராப்ளம் இல்லையா? இல்ல
மேடம்
திரும்ப
வாட்ஸ்அப்
பேமெண்ட் பே பண்ணனும்.
chat box
இல்ல அதுக்கு பிறகு உங்களுக்கு அதுக்கு என்ன செய்யலாம்னு தீர்வு சொல்லப்படும்.
ஓகே மிஸ்.
ஹலோ மேடம்.
மெயிலுக்கு வரேன் நான் எஸ்ஐடி நாளைக்கு.
ஆமா எஸ்.
ஹலோ ஹலோ மிஸ். ஹலோ
ஹலோ.
Yes.
என்னடா மிஸ் அந்த இமெயில் ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் பண்ற மெயில் ஐடி வெப்சைட் எது மிஸ்?
எது?
அந்த நாளைக்கு ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் பண்ற அந்த வெப் ஐடி எது?
அடே உங்களுக்கு மெயில் வரும்டா.
அது உங்களுக்கு அனுப்பப்படும்.
ஓகே 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 மிஸ்.
ஹலோ கட்டாயம் ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணணும் அந்த இதுக்கு. இந்த சேலஞ்சுக்கு பண்ணாமட்டா அது பிரச்சனை இல்ல.
ஆரம்பத்துல இருந்து இருக்கிறீங்களா? நீங்க இந்த செஷன்ல இருக்கிறீங்களா? ஆரம்பத்துல இருந்து கேட்டுக்கொண்டு இருக்கிறீங்களா?
உலகத்துல இருக்கிறீங்களாடா டேய்?
இல்ல என்ன வடிவா உங்களுக்கு சொல்லப்பட்டு கொண்டிருந்தது. அது வந்து நீங்க கட்டாயம் முடிக்க வேண்டியது உண்டு. உங்களோட செமஸ்டர் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண முதல் உங்களுக்கு அந்த ஃபியூச்சர் கரியர் சேலஞ்சஸ் வந்து நீங்க கட்டாயம் முடிக்க வேணும். அது அந்த உங்களுக்கு chatல இருக்குது பாருங்க.
ஒரே கேள்வி திரும்ப கேட்காம கொஞ்சம் அவதானமா கேட்டுட்டீங்க.
කැරියර් බ්‍රිජ් challenges අපි 10 වෙනිදා අපිට ගිහලා log වෙලා start කරන්න ඕනද?
Don't start now. The best thing is wait until 10th of July. Otherwise
ඒක තමයි 10 වෙනිදා පස්සේ අපිම කරන්න ඕනද ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ මේ support එකක් නැතුව?
ඔව් 10 වෙනිදාට පස්සේ ඕගොල්ලෝ තමයි කරන්න ඕනේ.
Madam, are you giving marks for these challenges?
Sorry?
Are you giving marks for these challenges?
Yes, not marks. We will be seeing how many you have been done. These will be given in your kind of a report card, how many challenges that you have completed. So that
there are there are no academic marks as such, but when you are going to work, they will look at what you have done. So they are looking for the right people,
Okay, sir.
right mindset, right attitude, etc.
Madam, this is automatic program or online program?
Automatic program.
Online.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Somebody is asking about fees. Now, for the fees, you are selecting only the first semester courses now, and there would be a add drop where you can add or drop courses. It will be in the middle of September, and by that time you will be asked to take the second semester courses as well. So somebody is saying 51,000 is being shown. That is the first semester courses.
Ma'am.
Hello, madam.
Yes.
Why you putting the special registration on chat box?
Sorry.
chat box එකේ තියෙන form එක දැන් fill කරන්න ඕනද?
ඒකට ගිහිලා බලන්නකෝ ඔයගොල්ලෝ. Can you go to the form and go and see what it is? That is if you have already done, I think.
Student ID එක එහෙම තියෙනවා මේ එතකොට ඒක මොනවද දන්නේ මිස්?
නෑ student ID එක තියෙනවා නම් දැන් fill කරන්න එපා. Student ID has not been sent, no.
Oh, ma'am. நாங்க இப்ப ஸ்டூடெண்டா BSc ஸ்டூடெண்டா? Hello ma'am.
Yeah, what is it?
சொல்லுங்க.
நாங்க BSc ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இப்ப.
எதுக்கு
மிஸ் இந்த chat boxல வந்து இந்த ஸ்பெஷல் ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் அனுப்பிருக்காங்க தானே. அதை இப்போ ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணணுமா?
அது வந்து ஃபியூச்சர் கரியர் சேலஞ்சஸ் லிங்க் அனுப்பி இருக்கு உங்களுக்கு. நாளைக்கு எஸ் நம்பர் வந்தா பிறகு OUSL ID இமெயில் ஐடி வந்தா பிறகு நீங்க ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் செய்யலாம்.
மேடம் அந்த ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் செஞ்சா பிறகு நாங்க ஸ்டூடண்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் கருதப்படும்.
இல்ல நீங்க வந்து
மேடம் can you explain it?
சேலஞ்சஸ் செய்யறதுக்குரிய தான் பெறவேன். உங்களுக்கு எஸ் நம்பர் வந்தா தான் நீங்க கம்ப்ளீட்டா உங்களுக்குரிய அந்த மிச்ச எல்லா டீடைல்ஸும் உங்களுக்கு வந்திருக்கு. மிச்ச எல்லாத்தையும் நீங்க வந்து ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணி போகலாம். அந்த எஸ் நம்பர்ன்றது உங்களுக்கு ஸ்டூடண்ட் ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் நம்பர், அதான் முக்கியம்.
ஓகே, நாங்க டிஸ்குவாலிஃபை ஆனி சான்சஸ் இருக்கா?
நீங்க செலக்ஷன் டெஸ்ட் பாஸ் தானே, பாஸ் பண்ணி எல்லாம் செய்து தானே வந்திருக்கீங்க?
ஆமாம்.
ஓகே.
ஓ லெவல் இங்கிலீஷ் மேடம் அட்வான்ஸ் இது ஓ லெவல் இங்கிலீஷ் ஃபெயிலண்டா?
A level 3 subjects கேட்டிருந்தது தானே?
ஆமாம், அது பாஸ் இருக்கு. Excuse me.
So if you don't have any questions, you can leave really.
Okay.
Yes ma'am. Same question again.
Yeah.
Hello miss. Madam ஒரு கேள்வி உண்டு.
Excuse me madam.
Sorry.
Hello miss. අපි group එකක් තෝරගන්න ඕන කොයි කාලෙටද?
ඒවා කියනවා දැන් පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්නේ inauguration. Now we are there are so many things. Either that is why I am asking you to read the web page and come. We will be guiding you step by step when to select the group, when to start the challenges, and when to do the other courses. So you will be given access to the learning management system, and there you will have to select the groups for day schools and other activities. So everything, I mean, we can't be saying everything within one day, within 1 or 2 hours. So please wait, and we will be guiding you. පටන් ගත්තේ නේ තාරාම. Yeah. So we are having the inauguration on Sunday. තාම මුකුත් ඒ කියන්නේ පටන් ගත්තේ නැහැ. Only for the first batch.
Ma'am, then doubt on.
Thank you.
Madam, then doubt on.
Madam මේ ස්පෙෂල් රෙජිස්ට්‍රේෂන් කියලා ලින්ක් එකක් කියලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒකේ ස්ටුඩන්ට් ID නම්බර් එක එහෙම ඉල්ලලා තියෙනවා.
No. ඒක දාන්න එපා. මං හිතන්නේ ඒක ඉස්සෙල්ලා ඒක හන්ද මං ආපහු පෝස්ට් කරේ. ස්ටුඩන්ට් ID එක තාම ඉවල නැහනේ. So ඒක දාන්න එපා.
Madam, student ID උඩ ඒකනේ රෙජිස්ටර් பண்ணிருந்தா என்ன மேம் செய்யலாம் அதுக்கு?
One minute. So those who there's somebody who has forgotten to get English for general academic purpose and e-field. Can you please send an email to BSc info and there is a sheet to fill. You send an email to BSc info saying that you could not select e-gap and e-fill. Because
மேடம் ஸ்டூடண்ட் ஐடி கொடுக்காம ஏற்கனவே ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணி என்ன மேம் செய்யலாம்? அதுல இருந்து லீவ் ஆகுறதுக்கு வழிமுறை இருக்கா?
உங்களுக்கு ஏற்கனவே இதே சேம் கேள்விக்கு நான் பதில் சொன்னேன். நான் என்ன சொன்னா உங்களுக்கு அதுக்குரிய உங்களுக்கு ஐஸ் பிரேக்கர் செஷன் நடக்கும். அதுல உங்களுக்கு அந்த கிளியர் பண்ண இப்படியான டவுட்ஸ் நான் உங்களுக்கு நீங்க எஸ் நம்பர் கட்டாயம் தேவை. அதுக்கு எஸ் நம்பர் உங்களோட OUSL
அப்ப நாளைக்கு வர லிங்க்ல நாங்க வேற யாரோட செஞ்சு போலாம் தானே
மேடம் e-field league එක මොකක්ද?
ඉතින් ඒක තමයි කියන්නේ ඔයගලන්ට පොට ඒක ගයිඩ් කරගෙන යන්න ඔක්කොම ටික කියන එක දවසක දැන් කියලා දෙන්න බැහැනේ. සෝ එන්න ඊළඟ සෙෂන් එකට Sunday අපි e-field league එක ගැන මීට වඩා කියනවා. And on 10th you will get more information. So I will
madam අපිට හම්බෙනවද ඒ orientation එක?
Sorry?
ඒ orientation link එක හම්බෙනවද අපිට 10 වෙනිදා?
අර ෆෝම් එක එතකොට දැන් fill කරන්න ඕනේ නැද්ද මම?
නෑ. ඕනේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ නිතර please read the web page every day and updated on what is happening. So I will conclude the meeting now. So you can get
Excuse me, ma'am.
Excuse me, madam. Hello, miss.
I have a question.
Hello, miss.
Yes.
Ma'am, what about JavaScript?
I can't hear anything.
Sorry, ma'am.
Hello,
what
miss.
about JavaScript?
Hanif?
Can you please wait till we start the course before asking about JavaScript?
Because I started studying myself. That's why I asked.
So that is fine. So at this forum, we want to give the introduction to ICT challenges. We are not going to talk about any programming languages.
Yeah. No, ma'am. Is it worth? I want to know.
Yes. If it is worth, I mean, if you whatever the programming language you study, it is worth studying something, and it will be used in the courses.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Doubt undu.
Hello, miss. Doubt கேட்கலாமா miss? இதுல நீங்க சேலஞ்ச் என்று சொல்றீங்க மிஸ். சேலஞ்ச் என்று எதை சொல்றீங்க?
அதுல நீங்க அதுல நிறைய ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணக்குள்ள பாத்தீங்கன்னா தெரியும் உங்களுக்கு. அதுல கொஞ்சம் சேலஞ்சஸ் இருக்கு. அதுல நீங்க அவ்வளவு கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ண வேணும். அது உங்களுக்கு இந்த கோர்ஸை முடிக்கிறதுக்கு சப்போர்ட்டிவா இருக்கும். அதுக்காக தான் அது சொல்றது.
கிரெடிட்ஸ் என்று சொல்லி இருக்கீங்களா தான் மிஸ்?
கிரெடிட்ஸ் என்று சொல்றது அது உங்களுக்கு வர செமஸ்டர் சப்ஜெக்ட்டுக்குரிய பெருமதி தான் கிரெடிட்ஸ். அதுவும் சேலஞ்சஸும் ஒன்று இல்ல.
மிஸ் நான் ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷனுக்கு பே பண்ணதுக்கு பிறகு
Thank you miss.
நாங்க ரெஜிஸ்ட்ரேஷனுக்கு பே பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் எங்களோட டீடைல்ஸ் பர்சனல் டீடைல்ஸ் கேட்டிருந்தீங்க. அதெல்லாம் கொடுத்து 7 கண்டினியூ கொடுக்க சொல்லியிருந்தீங்க. அது கொடுத்ததுக்கு பிறகு அடுத்த ஸ்டெப் வருது இல்ல.
கூட அந்த பிரச்சனை bc@ousl.sk க்கு அனுப்புறீங்களா?
மொபைல் ஃபோன்.
ஓகே மிஸ். ஒரு 3 பேருக்கு அப்படி அதே பிரச்சனை இருக்கு மிஸ். ஒரே
ஓகே நீங்க உங்களோட நேம் உங்களோட இமெயில் ஐடியை போட்டு நீங்க ஒரு அந்த இமெயிலுக்கு உங்களோட பிரச்சனையை கொஞ்சம் அனுப்புங்க.
ஓகே மிஸ். थैंक यू.
சரி
மிஸ் ஸ்டடி சென்டர்ல சேஞ்ச் பண்ண முடியுமா?
ஆமா.
எப்படி மிஸ் செய்யற?
அதுக்குரிய டைம் உங்களுக்கு தரப்படும். இப்ப எப்படியும் ஆன்லைன்ல தானே நடக்க போகுது. அப்ப நீங்க ஸ்டடி சென்டரை செய்யலாம். அது பிரச்சனை இல்லை. கொஞ்ச நாளைக்கு உங்களுக்கு ஆன்லைன்ல தான் இது நடக்கும்.
Hello, miss.
Madam.
Hello.
Can we?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, madam. මට දැනගන්න පුළුවන්ද මේ රෙජිස්ටර් වෙන්න කියලා ලින්ක් එකක් කියලා තියෙන්නේ? Hello.
inauguration එකටද?
ඔව් madam මේක දැන් ස්ටුඩන්ට් ID එක නැති හින්දා පස්සේ අපිට ඊමේල් එකක් දානවද මේ රෙජිස්ටර්
ඒකදී හෙට නෑ දැන් හෙට වෙනකොට බලන්න හෙට දවල් වෙනකොට ඒවා ස්ටුඩන්ට් ID එක. ඉරිදනේ තියෙන්නේ. සන්ඩේනේ තියෙන්නේ.
ඒ ළමයි අහගෙන ඉන්නේ නැහැ කිසිම දෙයක් මේ තියෙන ඒවා.
Madam, can we do this program using mobile phone?
You will need a computer when you are going to do programming. Programming, otherwise you can't be doing programming and the writing in the mobile phone, no. But for that, you if you don't have a computer, try to go to OUSL center.
Okay.
Miss, hello.
Yes.
Adita, can we wind up now?
Yeah. So we will wind up, and
if you have any more questions, you shall send a mail to us and we will
send a mail to BSc info. Yes, thank you.
Hello miss, என்னடா இப்ப வந்து OL எனக்கு இங்கிலீஷ் இல்ல, A level இங்கிலீஷ் இல்ல. அப்ப இங்கிலீஷ் அந்த ப்ரோக்ராம் எது நடக்குமா?
உங்களுக்கு இங்கிலீஷ் ஃபார் ஜெனரல் பர்பஸ் சொல்லி ஒரு இங்கிலீஷ் செஷன் ஒன்று இருக்கு உங்களுக்கு. அதை முடியத்தான் உங்களுக்கு செமஸ்டர் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும்.
ஓகே, அவ தமிழ்ல இது பண்ணுவாங்களா இல்ல?
அல்ல உங்களுக்கு
thank you very much everyone.